Hey guys, this is Locke. Today I'm going to be doing a review on Gilgamesh, Auron, and some of my thoughts on the meta. Um, yes. Anyway, let's dive into it. I think Gilgamesh's X is insane. I think he gets so many abilities that boosts his stats, that boosts his skills, that give him like a lot of utility. Anyway, let's get right into it. So, first of all, I mean, especially for newer players, you might not know this, but Gilgamesh actually has two masteries, being a double cost unit. He was one of the first units to get that. Let me show you what his masteries look like. Um, so, yeah, I think his first mastery was just a slash attack 10, maybe, but he got a second mastery that increased his HP by 1000 flat HP, 10% agility, uh, and I mean he also has accuracy, so you can see that he already has like pretty big base stats, um, and I think that um, I think the game added that because he wasn't he kept getting picked off too easily in the beginning, and they wanted his double cost to shine, so they gave him a boost in masteries. They gave him a second mastery, and now with the addition of the X jobs, he gets a ton of agility. He gets two here, two there. That's four, and three more here. So that's seven agility. Uh, it's added to his base stats, and then he gets 20 max AP up. Um, that would also impact the starting AP by 15. I think it's 15%, 15% of whatever his max is. So it lets him use his skills, faster. Like for example, Kotetsu, it only costs 24 AP. So typically you would need to use like typically you want to be spamming the skill. This is his bread and butter skill, and with a higher AP cost, it makes it a little bit easier to manage. Although you will still probably need some kind of TP refreshing, right? Sorry, not TP, but AP refreshing skills to be able to cast that better. But anyway, I just wanted to first make a comment on his stats. I think like seven agility up is huge. Next, I'm going to make a comment on his skills, the skill upgrades he gets. And the most significant one is his improvement to Kotetsu. So, first of all, let's just talk about what it normally does. It normally reduces the slash resistance of enemies by 38%. Most times, it means it increases the overall damage that Gilgamesh will do to a target by 38%, especially if he uses another skill that does like a large damage, like Excalibur on top of that. That would be a 38% increase. So, now on top of that, it gives you, it removes re-raise. So, re-raise is coming from, like, say, Yuna, or from the Halloween Leela TMR. That has been like a huge meta these days. Most people are using both or one of them, and you get a lot of units reviving themselves and healing over and over. So with this, it at least removes that right away. Even if even if you don't kill the target, as long as this hit lands, it removes that re-raise buff from the target. Next, Excalibur removes all the buffs from the targets. So this is similar to the Dispel buff, Dispel spread attack from Nivlu. It basically removes the buffs of opponents, and I mean it's good. It's also very good for like PVE scenarios when enemies are using buffs, especially bosses are using buffs like attack buffs or defensive buffs. You can remove them with this, and you can continue doing the damage that you were doing before. So I think with like previously, I've been talking about Nivlu being the best offensive support unit in the game. I think Gilgamesh is giving her a run for her money. Although it's a little bit unfair because Gilgamesh now has got his X job, while Nivlu hasn't. So I don't know what Nivlu's X job is going to be like, but Gilgamesh is super strong as a supportive offensive unit. His level 25 skill, this might seem a bit lackluster compared to other units that have similar skills. So this increases your magic resistance by 20% for yourself and one other ally in a range 2 area. But it also has a additional effect of nullifying Charm Immobilize for 3 turns. Um, so first of all, the magic attack resistance is only 20% compared to units like Ildira, whose magic resist is plus 38% to all your allies in a +1 area. This is just one other ally, but this has the added benefit of nullifying charm, which is quite strong, especially in manual PvP scenarios. If you don't have a unit with charm resist, charm could be very dangerous, especially with like 6 moves Azan running around now, who's got his extra butt. So anyway, this might be useful, like having a unit that can nullify charm for Gilgamesh and another ally. So I think the combination of skills that Gilgamesh has makes him like a very, very strong support offensive unit. So let's just have a recap of what he can do. He can reduce the slash resist of opponents. If you're running a slash team, you don't have to worry about running into 100% slash resist opponents anymore, because this skill will lower slash resist by 38%. So he can reduce slash resist. He can remove buffs from the opponent. He can remove re-raise from the opponent. He can give yourself and another ally plus magic resist, and he can nullify charm. He can nullify immobilize, and he can do haste. He can do quicken. I need to find the skill. Wherever it is, quicken. And this skill, Armor of Discontinuity, is also really strong. This is like a Saintly Wall, but for all types of attack. So Saintly Wall on Titus, if you guys are familiar with it, reduces the physical damage that he takes by 50% for 3 hits. Armor of Discontinuity does the same thing, but not only for physical, it's for magical as well. So if you cast this, it's going to be very difficult for you to get one shot by anyone, because you're taking 50% less damage, unless the barrier is broken by another skill like Nivlo or something, right? And he gets pretty good stats from his X. It makes him more bulky. He gets 558 HP from his job stats, and he gets about 200 more HP from increasing its level itself from like 99 to 120. So overall, like, he's going to be pretty bulky. He's going to be bulky and be able to do all those supporting things and have pretty high attack. If you give him like an Esper that does slash damage, if you give him high attack items, you can, and with the cards that are available, you can build him to be both offensive and like defensive on like with using the same cards. For example, you can build him using well, first of all, Fenrir. Fenrir gives him an additional 20% magic resist, but gives ice units like himself 50% attack. You can give him Odin. Where's Odin now? Which gives 10 Man-Eater for the unit that is equipped on, but it gives 20% single target resist and increases accuracy by 25. He doesn't have any guaranteed hit effects, so plus 25 accuracy is probably good on him. So I think Gilgamesh is going to be very, very strong. I think one of his only setbacks right now is like his double cost, that he costs 100 Vizier per shard instead of 50 Vizier, but I think he's going to be an insane unit. Now I'm going to talk briefly on Auron, but I honestly would suggest you guys to get a second opinion from somebody that actually uses Auron, because I can look at his stats on a website, I can look at what his skills do, and I can give you an opinion, but that opinion is not as good as somebody who actually uses him. And I have not pulled him, so I obviously haven't used him, but on paper, he seems like he's pretty strong. I think, first of all, I keep talking about Nivlu, saying that she's so strong because she can do a bunch of things, and one of the things that she can do, which is very valuable, is break barriers. Auron can do a similar thing. He also is able to break barriers, but his range on the skill to break barriers is only 3. But still, he has other things going for him as well. He has a level 25 skill that has a 25% chance. If both you and your opponent are 97 faith, that increases from 25 to basically 49% chance to paralyze a target for 3 turns, which is a pretty strong effect. He has a guaranteed skill as well that is kind of rare for slash units. There aren't too many slash units that have guaranteed effects. But again, I'm not going to talk about him in too much detail because I don't play him. So please get a second opinion from somebody if you want to invest in him. I will say though that I don't recommend him for newer players only because Titus is free. Like, if you are a new player, you have to make choices on what you want to invest in. For example, if you're not going to spend any money at all, you cannot raise Titus, Yuna, and Auron to level 120. There's just not enough mats or Visior to raise all of them to 120 as a new player that's not spending any real money in this game. And because Titus is already pulled, I would go with that. Like, Titus is free, so I don't have to spend like however amount of Visior to pull Auron. So I stand by my advice that I've given in the beginning, where I said, max Titus, max Yuna, uh, only because Titus was given for free. I'm not saying Auron is worse than Titus. I'm not saying Auron is better than Titus. I haven't really formed enough of an opinion that way. But the reason I say that you should go for Titus is because he's free. So that's one less thing that you have to spend Visior on to max. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the meta that I think might form with the addition of Auron and Gilgamesh's X. I think a team like you have to use a bit of creativity because I don't have Auron. So who is going to be my Auron? Let's use him because he got eaten by a snake. Sorry if that was a spoiler. Forget I said that. Let's just pretend that he is my Auron, and I don't have Agrius either. So I guess you'll have to do as Agrius, or maybe even Evia might be good. But a team like this, with Gilgamesh and Auron, you have access to so many things. You have a barrier break between yourself. You have a dispel buff. You have remove re-raise. You have haste. You have quicken. You have status effects like paralyze. You have guaranteed hits. So I think the two of them together will make a pretty good combo of units, and especially with the supporting cards that Ice gets, like Fenrir and Odin, they have pretty good effects. Like, this one increases magic resist for the team and increases ice attack by 50%. I've already gone through the effects of both of these, but anyway, like, they're pretty good effects for ice cards. So we might see an ice meta coming around where we're using 3 units like Gilgamesh, Auron, and Agrius, but I think it's more likely that we will see something like Gilgamesh, Auron, and Titus. And the reason I say that is because I went up to rank 100 or so in the arena this week, and I noticed at the higher ranks I see very few people playing like triple light or triple water. I always see mix of units, and I think it's because, like, for example, if I'm playing a triple water team in arena, I'll probably get killed easily by a double Genner lightning team, because lightning does 25% extra damage on top of whatever elemental resist that or elemental weaknesses that the units have. So with the triple ice team, like, maybe it'll be easier to get taken out by, like, say, Loartha plus Rain or something, right? So if you add a water unit to that team, that water unit will probably be able to one-shot the fire units that you have a weakness to. And all 3 of them are slash units, so you can benefit greatly from slash cards. So you can have something like this and have maybe like, where is it now? That, which gives you 25 slash attack, or you might have something like this card, which gives plus 35 slash attack, because neither of the cards there are giving slash plus slash attack to the units, right? So something like that might be what the meta comes out to. I think ice teams are going to be very strong with the addition of these two, so I do expect to see them being used quite often in arenas and guild wars, and even in like manual PvP. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the ice teams. I really think Gilgamesh is very strong. Auron also looks pretty strong on paper, and I think they can synergize well, the two of them, and you can add a third slasher like Titus to have a pretty competent team that's able to tackle a lot of things. Titus is also able to AoE haste. Gilgamesh is able to serve kind of as an off tank by using his armor of discontinuity. Titus can use his taunting blade to actually draw hate. So there's a bunch of things this team can do and tackle. That's why I think it'll be very strong. Anyway, I can't wait to hear what you guys think. Let me know in the comments what you think about the meta, what you think about these two units, if you guys use them, if you've especially been having success with using Auron. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you next time. Take care now.